You can still do it, but just.
Yeah. Well, you were slamming out the fat jokes. You have a lot of like quick.
Yeah.
You know, which is, I mean, that's what I need to work on. I need to work on having a lot more short, fast jokes for when I'm hosting.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of my shit, some of my stuff is long and storytelling-ish. You know what I mean? So when I'm hosting, I really struggle with like the quick stuff.
Yeah.
So, but you were just like bam, 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 which is great. But you don't have to do all those fat jokes at once. Like, obviously, you can spread them out throughout.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Right.
I would spread them out. You know, I guess I'm like, I just have like a chunk.
Right.
A chunk. But yeah, like I put them
like
all
a
together.
chunky monkey.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. I know. And we were working on material. So you were probably like, you know, oh, absolutely. Another one in our class is Marcy.
Oh, yeah.
She's a host. She does a shit ton of hosting and she just slams those one line. I mean, I couldn't even catch my breath. They were just like, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, she's a host. So she's really good at that short.
Yeah.
It's so.
It's good also, like when you host, just a lot of your material is going to come from like crowd work, right? You're just like talking to people and you just, no?
I don't do crowd work.
Really?
I'm
I feel like you would be amazing at it.
Everybody tells me you should do crowd work. You would kill.
Absolutely.
I think you'd be good, Cindy.
I agree. I think, you should.
And it's tough. It's hard to practice crowd work at open mic. And when I'm hosting, I'm scared to do it. Like, I mean, you have to do your basic. Anybody celebrating anything? Don't forget to tip your waitresses. How's let's go. You guys ready? Your headliner's back there. Let him hear you. You know what I mean? I would be like, well, you know, whoever I'm opening, like, oh, Jessica Kerson's right back there. Let her hear you. And then I'll do a few bits. But I don't know. That is my time to try it.
Yeah.
But I'm so not confident hosting that I'm just trying to get some better hosting skills. I'm not comfortable. Yeah. So when I'm not comfortable with something, I want to do it over and over. I mean, I could say I want to feature. I don't want to host because featuring is so much easier, but I'm not comfortable with hosting. So I'm like, give me all until I can get this shit down pat.
That's awesome.
It's a tricky. It's tricky. Hosting is fucking tricky.
I feel like I forgot where I read this, but they're like, if you ask yes or no questions and then have prepared answers for both. Is that something that works? Right?
I've learned this from the class. I stop asking the audience questions now because part of my material was, who here's been taken to work as a kid? Because that's how I open up one joke. I don't anymore. You know, I say, when I was a kid, I always wanted my dad to take me to work. You know, take your child to work day instead of asking, because who gives a fuck what they answer? She's right. Right?
Like,
who gives a
fuck? An answer? No.
That's a good way of storytelling with it. But I think the benefit of like those certain questions is like,
yes, right. If it's not, I was taking
really
to work.
Spin off of that.
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
So I stopped asking those, you know, although I do a joke about my DNA, the DNA ancestry. And I do say, has anybody done ancestry? And if someone, you know, I'm like, did you find out anything exciting, anything? And then a lot of people don't, but I had one guy that I did do crowd work because his answer was, yeah, I found out my neighbor was my father. My mother was cheating on my father with our next door neighbor. He was right in the front row.
That's insane.
So, I mean, he was honest, you know, it was him and his girlfriend. And he was so sweet. He was like he looked like he was in his mid 30s, Italian looking kid, you know, dark hair. But yeah, but otherwise half the time I get shit. So I don't know. I got to work into the crowd work.
But then be ready. Most of the time they say, oh, no, then have a joke for that. Like, oh, you guys are just fucking mutts. That's boring.
Yeah.
You want to hear my DNA results, or something like segue.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, I love that. Wait a minute.
Take it, use it.
Anybody had done ancestry? Silent. Oh, I'm glad you're all from functional families. All right, well, listen.
Yeah. Like, have answers for both. Or if somebody says,
you bragging? You're all from fucking functional families. You all had a great childhood. Listen. And then I said, my father could hold Father's Day at Red Wing Stadium. And it usually goes over because I tell it right after my father owned a strip club joke. So then people are like, oh, no wonder you've got 4,000 siblings. But I like that. I like that, Jeannie. That is kind of like a good little tag, right?
There you go. Use it.
You're all bragging. You're all such, functional families.
Everyone's from a functional family.
Excuse me. Oh.
Quit bragging.
You're from one of those family trees that wasn't broken, right?
Yeah.
Like some family trees are broken and it's really complex and it's hard to trace back.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody watered my family tree. That motherfucker is broke. That shit broke off. Pieces everywhere. Getting punchy. Poor Lauren. Lauren's just like, you fucking people are nuts. I haven't missed this podcast.
I'm okay with this. I'm just not.
I know. Lauren does not do stand-up.
Oh, no?
No, but she's smart and witty.
I've been like a huge comedy fan for a very long time. So.
Oh, nice.
But I am not appropriate and I am not woke a lot of times. And it's not that I don't want to be, it's just my age. I'm a boomer. Okay. I'm a boomer. Lauren, I'm a boomer. But I'm telling you, Lauren keeps me in check because she's woke and she'll be like, you can't say that. I'm like, okay, let me edit that out.
Like the baby dyke, right? Remember the baby dyke comment?
I said dyke on Facebook and I got put in jail. Like I'm always in jail anyway, Facebook jail. But I'm a dyke. Like if I want to call one of my friends under her post, you go, baby dyke. I got put in fucking jail again.
Oh, baby dyke.
And guess what?
That's so funny.
I got put in jail. I got a 7-day suspension during the pandemic. And it was literally right before something like unbelievable hit the fan. And my favorite thing is to go on like Fox and CNN and just cause all kinds of ruckus under the comments. And I couldn't do shit for these 7 days. And I said to Facebook, why am I in jail? And they said from a past offense from a year ago. I was like, oh, COVID has even slowed down the fucking Facebook trials? That was a year ago. Bastards.
I still have a warning on my account from January. And it was, I think I misspelled the word how and it thought I was saying ho. And so I've got a warnings that said, I'm like, really?
You can't say ho on Facebook. Well,
I guess not.
No, it's not as bad as it used to be because now I can invite friends. Like my account's completely clear as long as Mel and Jen don't post on our instigator page anything inappropriate and get me put back in jail.
There's some risque memes there.
Yeah, but as long as you're not showing vagina or ass or nipples, it's okay.
That's so ridiculous because I haven't been on Facebook in a while. So
because you're young, you don't go on Facebook. You're a baby.
Yeah, but
for us old people,
my dad, my mom love Facebook. But when you said Facebook jail, I thought you were joking. No, that's you're they.
Cindy's always in and out of it. She's always on parole.
I have never been in Facebook jail, and I'm fucking jealous. I want to get bad. I want to get Facebook jail.
Go on there and call me a dirty dyke.
I'm going to do it.
Typing people things and then asking them to post for her because she can't post on Facebook.
I love that.
She's like, I'm in jail. What's going on?
Not during the pandemic.
I say this to the group, but I can't.
Yeah. Not me. Not now. During the pandemic, when all I could do was sit in my chair and play Animal Crossing or start trouble on the internet. Okay. The fucking Facebook put me in jail. Now I'm freaking cruising the neighborhood website, just looking for drama. Like, give it to me somewhere. Because Instagram isn't the same. Like, Instagram is boring. Like, you can't start trouble. I go on, you know what I mean? There's no trouble to be started. Like, you've got to go on Facebook. You got to go under Fox News. You got to go in these little groups. You got to start trouble in these private groups. You got to.
I love it. I want to see what you like, everything you've ever written online that got you put in jail.
We used to do that segment when Amy was on the show and we would cause Facebook, and the segment was, I forgot, but it was about, the best comments. I can't remember. It's been so long, God, that we used to call that. But we would just go on there and start all kinds of trouble and then just like do the whole podcast talking about like what havoc we wreaked with them all. Amy was great. Amy could go on Fox News and literally have like 4,000 likes on her comments. Because like under those pages, you get hundreds of thousands of comments under news stories. Yeah. She would have such one-liners and such zingers. She literally would have 4,000 people just liking her comment. It was crazy. Amy was so good at that. Now there's nothing. We don't have Trump. We got nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's so easy. I feel like it's kind of ridiculous though. All this banning is like, what is this? Shouldn't we be able to say anything? I mean,
not really though. I have to say that if we do that where you should be allowed to say anything, that's when you have people like the President of the United States able to incite
never mind, I take it back. About that fucker. Yeah, you're right.
So somebody who's too powerful that's getting on there and with complete conspiracy theories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Lauren, the pizza shop had pedophiles were in the basement.
Oh, Pizzagate.
Yeah. But if you're allowed to really spread that, like, could you imagine? Or even my neighborhood, like a neighbor or a person. So I feel like it has to be fact checked when it comes to things that can hurt, actually, like publicly, like start riots or.
Of course. Yeah.
That's where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In order to stop internet bullying, I don't think that's really happening with young kids on Facebook, as that's the issue. Adult bullying, right?
For sure.
Does anybody tweet?
I have not been on Twitter in forever. And I used to check it like multiple times a day. But I think it's because so many of the comedians and writers and stuff that I follow, they post a tweet, screenshot it, and post it.
And then it goes on Instagram.
So I don't have to. And then it gets so much more traction than their Twitter does.
Well, also, this whole Twitter thing, when you apply for certain festivals or comedy things, they want to see your Twitter and they want it to be active. And I'm like, I don't even know how to fucking Twitter. The podcast is Twitter. The only thing on my Twitter is this podcast because it's attached to my RSS feed and it just shoots it out to Spotify, Apple, you know what I mean? Right. And Twitter, iHeartRadio. It just shoots it. Other than that, I don't know how. I can't TikTok either, and I could be good. Could have been a star.
I don't understand Spotify.
Good.
Could have been someone, Jenny. I could have been a star.
I don't understand Spotify. I got a Spotify account. I don't understand it.
I just use it. Never.
It's just like playlists. You like can curate
music. Yeah.
And stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, I don't use it very much either.
Melanie's like, I don't get Spotify, so I'm screwed.
Well, I belong to Bumble, the dating app, and they have this thing you can link your Instagram to Bumble.
Oh yeah.
And so like I'll be like, Oh my God, because I won't link my Instagram to Bumble. I don't want people seeing what I put on there that I potential dates. Yeah, right. And if I look at the guy's Instagram and I'm like,